Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys doing this evening? It is currently 9:49 p.m. on this beautiful Tuesday evening. It is currently 68 degrees in Indianapolis, Indiana. I just dropped off Tanya Jean Applestein, prettiest girl I've ever seen. We went to our meeting tonight, and it was a good meeting. It was kind of sad, but it was a good meeting. I have like a dear friend that I've known for, gosh, I don't know, like years and years at this point. Probably about 20 years I've known him. And if not, maybe a little bit longer than that. And he's been super sick for like the last 10 years and had to have all these different operations, and he's in a wheelchair now, and he's really not a whole lot older. I mean, he's like 10 years older than me, probably. He's probably right at 60. And lost his son, lost his wife. And anyway, he doesn't come as often as he used to my home group. And this was his home group for years and years and years. And so he came tonight. And anyway, he and I sat in a group, and then I talked to him for a long time afterwards. And he's like dedicated his life to helping others, and he is just such a phenomenal man and really inspiring to me. And he's just a sweet guy. It's just hard to see people I love and care about, really struggling like that. So that was hard tonight, but it was good to see him, but at the same time it was sad. And then talked about trusting God in the meeting. And our meeting was small tonight. There's usually like, let's see, there was like, well, I can tell you exactly how many people there were. There was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 in my group. And I think in Tanya's group there was like 8. And then in the other group, there was like 5. There was like 20, 21 people in the whole meeting. And our meeting is usually like 40 to 50 people. So I was kind of surprised that it was so small. But yeah, Alex went out to dinner tonight with 2 girlfriends. He is finishing, he just texted me that they're paying, and then they're getting ready to leave. He's getting ready to head home. And he asked me if I wanted him to bring me anything. And I said, macaroni and cheese and a pretzel. One of those big pretzels, with like pub cheese in it. So that's what I'm going to have for my dinner tonight. I'm real excited about that. And I also, last night when I went to Meijer with Tanya, I got like Morningstar like plant chicken tenders and stuff. So I might heat some of those up and make a couple of those as well. Oh, I also have like 3 pieces of frozen pizza left. Let me tell you about my super healthy breakfast this morning, okay? So, well, last night, my plan had been I uploaded my vlog, and then my plan had been to go back out and listen to my audiobook and like try to finish that, or get a lot of it. I didn't think I'd finish it, but because I had 2 hours left. But I thought I could at least, knock out an hour of it and listen to it, and I wanted to anyway, and then listen to like an hour of the podcast that I'm listening to. But I went upstairs and I fell asleep. Well, I sat downstairs and I watched an episode I had 2 episodes left, I think, of Only Murders in the Building. And so I watched an episode, or I finished the episode I was watching, and I ate something last night after I got all that stuff done and uploaded the vlog, so it would be ready for today. And then which I might do the same thing tonight, because that was really easy. I like woke up today, my vlog was uploaded, the chucks were done, it was ready to go. So that was really easy and helpful today. And then, but anyway, I went to sleep last night, and I woke up and it was like 1 o'clock in the morning, and I was going to go out and listen to my audiobook, but I was so comfortable with the dogs and the thunderstorm sounds playing in the background and the fan that I was like, I'm just going to keep on sleeping. I don't even really like remember like making a conscious decision. But then I woke up again at like 3 something, and I was still so comfortable. So then Alex woke me up because I had to move my car because I had parked in the driveway at like 8 something, or I had to get up at like 8 something to move my car because he was leaving for work. So I moved my car and I came back inside, and the dogs were sleeping in bed. They were so sweet. They didn't even get up and come downstairs to go out or anything. They were just lounging. As soon as Alex leaves, one of them goes and sleeps on his pillows, and then the other one sleeps right below it. It's really cute. So I had a piece of pizza. This is so unhealthy. I had a piece, I keep on forgetting I have something at the post office that I have to pick up. I have this, like, I gotta remember this for tomorrow. I have a post office notice that I have to, see, they put these in my post office box and they put like my post office number on the back of it. But anyway, what was I saying? Shoot, I don't remember what I was saying now. Hold on a second. I have this song stuck in my head. I was listening to that Johnny Mathis song, that too much, too little, too late, never love again, with Denise Williams. I love that song. Tanya and I were like singing at the top of our lungs, and where is it? Shoot, I can't find it now. There was this guy driving next to us, and he was trying to be like real cute and get our attention and stuff like that. And so we were like blasting that song, and he was like driving right next to us, and I went, too much, too. And Tanya and I got laughing so hard. Anyway, so I had, this morning for breakfast, I had a piece of pizza. I had chips with onion dip. Oh, my husband just texted me. He's probably telling me he's heading out. And then I had half of a crumble cookie. That was my breakfast this morning. Then I sat, and it was so beautiful outside. I sat, oh, my mums are so pretty on my front porch. I was gonna get these 2 mums from Melissa, but they're, she said they haven't started to bloom yet or open, and I want ones that have already started to open. So she was like, if you don't want them, I'll just keep them. And I was like, okay, so I'm not gonna get those. But I do think I'm gonna get 2 more mums at the farmer's market. And then my wreath for my, by my door should be here on Thursday or Friday. And then I need doormat. And once all that stuff comes, I'm gonna do like a little vlog for my Peter Does Stuff channel showing my front porch. I'm so excited. You guys, it looks so nice. It makes me so happy just to look out there. And the mums are like perfect. And I watered them, I think it was last night that it was last night that I watered them. And I woke up this morning and they were like sprouted and looking like really healthy. So I probably need to water them again tonight just to keep that going. But anyway, so I sat outside and while my neighbors were walking by and I was waving and stuff, I watched the second episode, or most of it, of Only Murders in the Building. I have one more episode to watch that I think came out today, and then I'm caught up. And then I want to watch that show on Hulu called The Last Man on Earth. And I also want to watch, well, Grace and Frankie. I'm not really into Grace and Frankie this season. I just feel like it's kind of like I mean, I like it, but it's like, this is where I kind of like stop watching shows, because I kind of, like, if they weren't a half an hour episode, if they were hour-long episodes, I wouldn't watch it anymore. Because it's like, I just feel like it's kind of the same story over and over and over and over again, and I'm kind of bored of it at this point. Like, something needs to happen on the show. But I do love Grace and Frankie. What was I gonna say? I'm like distracted because I don't know what he's texting me. I'll pull in here in a second and see. There's another show that I want to watch. Oh, so we're watching American Horror Story. And then I want to watch Clickbait and Cruel Summer. I'll probably start those after I get that done. But there's like a new show that's out that I want to watch. I can't remember what it is though. But I just saw an ad for it, or maybe it's on HBO Max. I don't remember. Anyway, I don't know. Yeah. So I did that, and then I went back to bed after having slept like a full night, getting a full night's sleep. And I set my alarm for like noon, and I cozied up with the dogs. They were so sweet this morning. I was giving little Boo Radley kisses on his head. Tucker was on the pillow because Boo Radley was real close to me. And I was giving him little kisses on the head, and then I fell asleep. I had a hard time getting up today when I got up. I don't know why. I just was so... Do you ever have those days that you're just like so comfortable in bed, even if you've had like 15 hours of sleep? I was like, oh my gosh, like what is going on here? I just couldn't get up for some reason. Okay. Too much, too little, too late. I love that song. I told Tanya, I said, sometimes I feel like I live in an 80s movie. I wish I had like the romancing the stone, you know, exploration in my life. What did he say? Okay, he's heading home now. I'm gonna vlog and then I'm gonna go, well, I don't know if I'll finish my vlog, but I only have one battery with me. There's like all these like cookie crumbs over here. My crumble cookie reviews. I don't know if I'll do the whole vlog because I only have one battery. The other battery, oh, you know what? I do have another battery with me, but I don't know if it's charged or not. I think I have it with me. Let me see. There's my fan. Oh, I brought this for Tanya, this Meyer beauty box. Did you guys see me do the review of this on my Peter Review Stuff channel? I really think it was worth it. It was only $4.99, and I was like, so I gave it to her because it's all like, it's like a palette and other stuff in there. Darn it, I'm trying to think if there's anything in there that will melt if I leave it in the car if it gets too hot. I don't think it's supposed to be super hot the next couple days. Maybe I don't have a battery in here. I don't know then where my third battery is if it's not in here. Oh, I do have a third battery in here. But I have a feeling since it's like in my main part of my bag that it's dead. I don't know. It's kind of hot in here. I am going to listen to my audiobook tonight, and I am going to listen to my podcast too. No matter how tired I am, I'm going to listen to it. There's like all these stores over here that I could review, or I could go in and film for my Peter Does Stuff channel, like K&G Fashion Superstore, never been to it, and then Burlington Coat Factory. This is like a new one that's huge, and then Dollar Tree, Dollar Store down there, or Dollar, which one is it? Dollar Tree, Five Below, Home Good, TJ Maxx Home Goods, and then there's Shoe Carnival. I thought Shoe Carnival might be kind of a fun one to do, you know? So, I like the ones where I go in the stores and I just show stuff. They're fun to do. They're fun to go in there and see everything, and then I kind of get to see, you know, everything that I'm looking at. So then today, Tanya has been like wanting to get to the meeting earlier. Because we like sit around and have a cup of coffee and just kind of talk and stuff. So I made a commitment to her that I would get there 15 minutes earlier to pick her up. So today I was like, okay, I have to be like in the shower and getting ready by like 6:30. And I got all of my stuff done today. I was really kind of surprised. I went and did, well, my review took me kind of a long time to do because I had to go to 2 different Starbucks. And if you guys ever used to watch my Starbucks reviews, Evan was in my video today. And he works at that one now. And he used to work at the one, Evan that he's like engaged. And I think he met his fiance at that Starbucks too. It's interesting because a lot of the people that like are engaged or married now, like they worked at Starbucks together or met there. Like Josh and Jacob, they're engaged. Evan and his fiance, I can't remember what her name is. She's super cute though, really nice. And then there was another couple that work at that Starbucks too, and they got married. But I think one of them doesn't work there anymore. Anyway, what else was I gonna tell you? Oh, so I did the review at Starbucks, and then after that, I went to Tuesday Morning because it was right there. I hadn't planned on doing it. It was just kind of spur of the moment. And so I went to Tuesday Morning, and I did a review over there, and then, which is like a clearance, not clearance, but they have like stuff marked down. Although I didn't think the stuff was really that marked down. I didn't think it was really that much of a deal. I thought the sheets were, it's kind of like a Bed Bath & Beyond, but on a smaller level. Yeah, that's really kind of what it reminds me of. But they don't have like appliances like Keurigs and stuff like that. Well, Bed Bath & Beyonds aren't around anymore. Ours closed down. There's a whole strip mall over here at Castleton. I couldn't believe it. It's where they used to put Spirit Halloween. They don't do it. I don't think they put it there anymore, though. And the whole strip mall is closed down. I was like, there is not one area of the strip mall that is rented out anymore. I was like, what happened here? So did that, and then I did the Tuesday morning thing, and then I came home and I uploaded those, and then I did a drama video, and then I did a Peterisms video, and Alex came home in between to like change for dinner. He fed the dogs and all that kind of stuff, and then he was so sweet. He did like emptied the dishwasher and everything. So anyway, I talked to my neighbors for a while today. Alex came out and he was talking to the neighbors too, because they had their the ones to the right of us, they had their grandkids, and he had this like bubble machine, and it was really cool. And he was like, look, bubbles. He was real sweet. And so yeah, I just kind of hung out today, and then I got ready and went to pick up Tawny Jean. I was 6 minutes late picking her up. I told her, I said, it's gonna take me a couple of weeks to get used to being here real super early, but I was still like 15-20 minutes earlier than I usually am. So she was real excited. She looked cute. She had an AC/DC t-shirt on tonight, and it was like it looked vintage looking, you know. I think she got it at like Target or Meijer. They always have cute clothes for women there. Maybe she got it at Target, I think. She said she didn't remember where she got it, but they had real cute stuff. Anyway, we had a good night, and then after the meeting, we stood outside and talked with people forever, and then Tawny was like, can I go get a fountain pop? And I was like, yeah, sure. So I took her to get a fountain pop. I didn't get one. I didn't even go inside because I had my coffee left over, and I didn't need anything because I'm going to have food at home here in just a little bit. And that was my day. That was my good day that I had today. And now I'm vlogging, and then I'm going to listen to my audiobook. Well, I'm gonna watch Only Murders in the Building. And Tawny was like, she was like, I can't really get into that show. And I was like, why not? I said, it's so good. She was like, yeah, I don't know. I just can't get into it. And I'm like, well, it's really, really good. So it's probably good that on a show like that, they're not releasing, like, you know, it's so funny that they're not releasing all the episodes at once, is what I was going to say. But I have these like thoughts that kind of like, anyway, my thinking is tangential, is what my friends in high school used to say. They'd say, oh, Peter, he, just like me, he thinks tangentially. He's all over the place. You know, it's interesting because I can remember when Netflix came out, and do you remember back in the day, like, you could have like 2 discs out at a time. They would send you the actual disc for the show or the movie in the mail. My uncle did that up to like 2 years before he passed away. I think you still can do that on Netflix, is order the DVDs. He still did that. Maybe it was 3 or 4 years before he passed away, but he still did that because he could remember doing that. He would say like, so I don't know if you can still do it or not. But anyway, the last one I rented was Saving Grace with Holly Hunter. And I had the last disc forever. Because you could keep them forever, but like they wouldn't send you another one until you had sent it back. And that was before Netflix had like a streaming service. That's how Netflix started, I remember, because I had it back in the day. That's what I used it for. And I think there was a show that was on, I want to say the BBC, but it was really, I think, PBS or something. And Oprah and Gail Oprah did an episode on it, and she and Gail went there. If anybody knows what this show is, I could probably look it up, but I would love to watch this reality show again. It was about these people that came to this town. It was like a reality show where they had to like build their own colonial town, like as if they like, you know, like Christopher Columbus times. It was a really interesting show, and they each had different roles in the town that they had. And but I used to, my ex and I watched that show, and I got the DVDs from that. Did I get them from the library, or did I get those? I used to get shows from the library too. I used to watch the Ramona Quimby series from the library. I used to get the VCRs. VCRs. I used to get the VCR tapes of that from the library because I loved that show back in the day. It was like, that was on PBS, I do know that. But then Netflix, changed, and then it was movies, and then it was these series, and now it's Netflix original series, and now they're releasing like one episode at a time. Now everything in the world is streaming services. I feel like we have cable and all these we have every streaming service possible, it seems like, and now streaming services are going back like regular television to releasing one episode a week, which is crazy to me. It's kind of interesting to me that there's not a cable service out there, and I'll say this, and you guys will be like, well, there is actually, Peter, where your cable service, instead of paying like for like Showtime and HBO or basic cable or whatever, it's like you get basic channels, but then you also get like, if you pay this much a month, you get Netflix, you can pick your packages, kind of like how back in the day it was premium channels, which we still have all the premium channels, but today it would be like, apps that you have. Because don't most people watch their stuff through their TV? I mean, we do. We watch like our apps through our TV. It's like they'll say like you're entering a third party or whatever, like Netflix or HBO Max. Or so. I was just watching Scream today, the horror movie Scream, scary movie, Scream. I was just watching that today on HBO Max on the TV. So, it'd be interesting at some point. But then I think, it would have been smart, maybe they did and I didn't know this, if Netflix would have bought like a lot of these streaming services. They don't need to, obviously, but they have probably more money than God at this point. But that would have been interesting if they would have done that, and then Netflix would own like 5 of these streaming services or something. Don't you think that would be interesting? I do. Now this is where Spirit Halloween was last year, but I don't see it. So it's obviously not there. I'm wondering if they're not gonna, I wonder when Spirit Halloween opens. Melissa always knows where Spirit Halloween is. Okay, this old Marsh grocery store, there's like a banner hanging out in front, but it looks demolished. I was gonna say, well, maybe that's where they're gonna put it, but it doesn't look like that's a place where they could have it, so I don't think that's it. Too much. I've been having songs stuck in my head like every day. The other day it was this RuPaul song, and now it's this. Oh my Lord. All of my friends have been traveling now. Everybody's settling down. Like Tanya's like home after all this, she's traveled a lot this summer. My friend Valerie just went to Arizona. She went to Scottsdale. And she gets home tomorrow. And hey, Valerini, I missed you, Valerini. Who else? A lot of people that have been traveling that we're friends with. Now everybody, I'm like, so where are you going next? And everybody's like, oh no, we're just staying at home. Do you know I'm looking at Donato's Pizza over here? I haven't had Donato's Pizza and I don't even know how long. But I like deep dish pizza, but I have to say I really do like Donato's. I really like Donato's Pizza too. And there's something about their breadsticks with the cheese I like. Alex the other day, it was funny because we were going to order pizza and he was like, I was like, what kind of pizza do you want to get? And he was like, can we get Pizza Hut? He was like, I love Pizza Hut. And I'm like, really? Like, I mean, we've been together 13 plus years at this point, and I didn't know you loved Pizza Hut. And he was like, I've just been craving it lately. And I said, oh, okay. Back in the day, I loved when Taco Bell, I said something about this not too long ago. It was called Pizza Bell. You could drive through Taco Bell and you could get personal pizza and breadsticks. They had that there too. And Dr. Pepper, which I would love. I would get a personal little pan pizza, and I would get an order of breadsticks with cheese and marinara sauce, and then I would also get nachos Bel Grande and a Mexi Melt, which I don't think they have those anymore either. And that would be my dinner. That was some dinner, wasn't it? So I used to do that back in the day, and at Taco Bell, and I did love that they had Pizza Hut there, but I haven't had Pizza Hut in a long time. Melissa and Jason love Pizza Hut, so if we do something with Melissa and Jason and get pizza, we usually get Pizza Hut. Tanya likes this place called Greek's Pizza, and she also likes Pizza King, which I don't know if Pizza King's a chain, but in Indiana, everybody loves Pizza King. I love Pizza King. Pizza King used to have a buffet. Oh my God, this friend and I tonight, we were talking about the KFC, Kentucky Fried Chicken buffet, and he said something about there being one in Kokomo. And I said, well, all small towns have Kentucky Fried Chicken buffets. It was something that I learned with my ex, because in Seymour, Indiana, their Kentucky Fried Chicken had a KFC buffet. I don't remember what day it was on. It was like a Wednesday or a Sunday or something, but you paid like $4.99 and you could get whatever you wanted to get off this buffet. And basically, it was just like this small buffet that they would wheel out, and they had like fried chicken, biscuits, mashed potatoes, macaroni and cheese, and that was like it. It wasn't like anything else. Pudding. The only reason I know pudding is because tonight he said, yeah, I remember going there one time, and I told the girl that was working there, I was like, there's a Band-Aid in your chocolate pudding, and he said she took a spoon and scooped it out and just left it there like anybody could. Is that not so gross? I don't know if that's true. That could be a totally made up story, but isn't that interesting? Look at this Mercedes convertible in front of me. That's beautiful. 2-seater. Really pretty. But anyway, what was I saying? So yeah, Pizza King back in the day we used to go there for work, like lunches, when we would do like a big lunch, all of us that worked together on a Friday, we would go to Pizza King buffet. There was one by where I worked and at Castleton, and they would have different kinds of pizza and then salad with like all different kinds of dressings. Their salad was kind of weak, but who cared? And they also had lasagna and breadsticks, and it was like $5.99 all you could eat. Those were the buffets that I loved back in the day. Somebody commented on one of my videos, or they emailed me, I can't remember which, and they asked me if I have gone to the Amish buffets in southern Indiana. And I was like, oh my God, no, but I would love to do that, because people like in Indiana, they die for like the Amish food from the north. Like usually the Amish communities are up north, or in Indiana, like by Mishawaka and things like that, South Bend. They're like in farm towns up there. Oh, there he is over there. I was like, there's a guy on a bike. I don't want to. He's wheeling around looking on his phone or something. But anyway, they used to be, well, they still are up north in Indiana. And so down here in Indianapolis, we have like Amish furniture stores and Amish, that place that I actually reviewed that I went to, they had like butter, apple pies, bread, cookies, things like that from Amish farms. They bring them down there and they sell them. And I can't remember what that place is called. I've been wanting to go there lately to get stuff for like, I thought I'd go there and pick up a couple pies for my neighbors and stuff like that. I thought they'd like that. And so their pies there and their breads and cookies and stuff are like unbelievable. They have like homemade macaroni and cheese. You can eat there too. They have like a little deli there that have like potato salad, macaroni and cheese, mashed potatoes, fried chicken, ham, all that kind of stuff. Do you remember I did that video there? I think I might have done it on a vlog, or I think I did a review video of it, and I drove way out there and did it. That was fun that day. But anyway, I was like, I would love to go to an Amish buffet, because the food is supposed to be unbelievable. Like, I mean, I've had at times, I think in the past, like Amish, like peanut brittle and fudge. I love fudge anyway. And pies and stuff like that. But to have like green beans and, you know, different casseroles and stuff that are made and brought in, or if they're made there, I don't know. Like, that would be fantastic. So I'm going to actually try one of those. Might just drive down there for the day and do a review. That would be kind of fun, wouldn't it? Whoever it was, I screenshot it because she told me the names of them and where they're at. I thought that would be fun. When we were in Vegas the first time, I think I told you guys this, there were these two girls that we met at the Cosmopolitan Buffet. We sat next to them, and they had come from like the San Francisco area. One of them lived, there were a couple, but like one of them lived in San Francisco and the other one lived in like she kept on saying the Bay Area. And I was like, I always feel like I get the Bay Area wrong when I say, is that San Francisco? Is that like, because I said I have a friend that lives in Oakland and she calls that the Bay Area. And they're like, yeah, all that's kind of the Bay Area. But I think one lived in like Oakland or South, I don't know, north or south of Oakland, and the other one lived in San Francisco. And they had come to Las Vegas for like 3 days just to go and try out like the different buffets, which they were doing like champagne buffets, so they were paying more. I think they were doing like the brunch buffets, because they said that they didn't really like the Caesar's Palace one. They didn't think it was worth the money, which I have to tell you, that Caesar's Palace buffet it was a lot of money. It was not worth $80 a person or whatever it ended up being. Well, I mean, maybe if you were a meat eater or a seafood eater, because you could get a lot of crab legs and stuff like that, but I don't eat any of that, so for me, it was definitely not worth it. It stopped. I cannot believe that I was at 30 minutes. I had no idea. You know, we did it because that's where everybody wanted to go, but I think like that amount of money for a buffet is absolutely ridiculous, you know? But I do like buffets. I do like, you know, being able to pick my food and stuff like that. The problem sometimes with buffets for a vegetarian is if you go, like, it doesn't necessarily, like that Caesar's buffet said what stuff was vegetarian, and I even got like the fried rice that had, thank God Alex saw it before I ate it, but they had the stuff labeled that was vegetarian. But most buffets that you go to, it is super hot in this car, most buffets that you go to do not put on there like what is vegetarian and what's not, so you don't really have any idea, you know, like if what you're eating is vegetarian or not. So then you have to go with like pasta salads that look like they don't have any bacon or anything in it, that are just real basic, or, you know, different things like mashed potatoes, macaroni and cheese. And so you end up basically eating what you would eat at any other buffet. I went to this Chinese food buffet the other day that I used to eat back in the day. It's called Dragon House in Fishers. I thought it was really good back in the day. It's not. It sucks. I don't know what I thought was so great about this place, but it was not good. Actually, I was talking about this that night, I think, because on my vlog, because that buffet that Arlena took me to when she and I went and did those videos, we'll have to do that again sometime. That was fun. Hey, Arlena. That was like one of the best buffets. It was like a Chinese buffet, but like they had so many things that I could eat. And I feel like I remember it being labeled too. Like it would say like noodles, and then it was like they had different kinds of noodles, like veggie noodles and like noodles with meat in it. You know, like chicken noodles with chicken or whatever. And there was a lot of stuff on that buffet for me to eat. So I don't know. Maybe I'll start reviewing more buffets. What buffet should I go to tomorrow? I'm ready right now. That's like kind of one of, I mean, people always ask me like, when do you miss eating meat? Like, I don't really miss eating meat. Like, I don't look at it and go, well, crab meat rangoon that day sounded good, but you can get vegan crab meat rangoon. But I looked at it that day. It's like, it's not so much like I look at it and I'm like, God, I would love to have like, you know, chicken and noodles or chicken and fried chicken and, or fried rice with like chicken or shrimp in it or something like that. It's not typically that. It's that there are limited options. You know, if I go to a restaurant where there are a lot of options, where did we go? Where did Alex and I go in Vegas? That there was like, there was someplace that we went and I was like, so excited. Like whenever I go somewhere and there's a lot of options on the menu, I get real excited because then I get to pick what I, you know, instead of it being like, okay, house salad and then, you know, this or what, one pasta dish or whatever, which thank God steakhouses are starting to put pasta dishes on their menu. But I'm sure the attitude is kind of like, well, why would you come to a steakhouse if you're a vegetarian? But like the reality is that you go out to dinner with your friends who, like, that's where they pick to go. So you want to be respectful and you go so they can enjoy what they're enjoying because they're not vegetarians. But you would still like to be able to have a good meal as well, you know? So it's easier now than it used to be, though. The first time that I was a vegetarian, I literally would go places. I can remember one time Tanya and I went with her niece. It's been a long time. Well, that was when I was first vegetarian, so it was when my mom first passed away. With her niece and her niece's daughter. Well, it's not really her niece, but she calls her niece because they're so close. She's married to Tanya's second cousin or something like that. So anyway, she calls her Aunt Tanya. Tanya calls her niece. It doesn't matter. Anyway. Welcome to Indiana. It doesn't matter. But, so she and her baby, did Alex come with us? I feel like maybe Alex came too. And Tanya and I, we went to O'Charlie's, which I love O'Charlie's, but what I loved about O'Charlie's back in the day before I was a vegetarian was they have this loaded baked potato soup that has bacon in it. It is like one of the best soups I have ever had in my entire life. Well, first of all, the rolls at O'Charlie's. Okay, wait. Scratch that. I'm getting Charleston's and O'Charlie's mixed up. We went to O'Charlie's. Charleston's, where I went for my first dinner with my sponsor. She had me do an inventory right away. And then we were eating, and I had a grilled cheese with fries. Charleston's back, what did she have? I think she had like salmon or something. She always eats like healthy like that. She's been doing keto off and on forever. She's always like, oh, I gotta get back on keto. She's my sponsor, so funny. But, so Charleston's back in the day, I don't know if those are national either, I think so. But anyway, are they a national franchise, Charleston's? It's real cute in there. I like Charleston's, but I used to always eat in the bar, and I would go with friends, and I would get the baked potato soup, which is like the most unbelievable thing in the entire world that has bacon bits in it, which they can't make for you specialty because it already has the bacon in there. And then I would get chicken fingers with fries, and the Charleston's chicken fingers are like the best chicken fingers in the world. I used to say to people, Alex would laugh at me, because when I went to restaurants, I would say, do you guys have the chicken fingers that are like this? Like they're all not like, you know? Or do you have the flat ones that you just microwave? Because I don't like the flat ones. I like, well, I don't eat them now, but I didn't like the flat ones. I like the ones that were all, you know, like that. That looked like they just battered them and threw them in there. And Charleston's had those. And the honey mustard from Charleston's was so good. And I would get a salad with honey mustard too. And I love Charleston's. Now, O'Charlie's has some of the best dinner rolls in the entire world. If you've never been to O'Charlie's and you go, eat the dinner rolls, okay? They are so fantastic. But back in the day at O'Charlie's, I used to get, I don't think I got chicken fingers a lot there. I think, I'm sure I've had them. Oh, I forgot that Fufu worked at Charleston's in Westfield for a while. I don't know how I forgot that. Alex and I went in there one time and he was working. Was he our server? I don't remember. I do remember one time we went to Bravo and Fufu was our server. I think it was Valentine's Day, because we used to go to Bravo a lot on Valentine's Day, because that was where Alex and I had our first date at Bravo. But now they're all closed down in Indianapolis. They're not here anymore. It doesn't matter. I keep on saying it doesn't matter. I've said that like 5 times. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. But O'Charlie's, I used to get, because we would go there quite a bit when I was working. All of us would go there to eat. Like, it seems like once a week we all went somewhere to go eat together. Maybe we did. I don't remember. I don't remember it being every week, but it seems like regularly, maybe once a month. I don't know, when we had a clinical meeting or something. Like we had clinical meetings every day, but when we had a big clinical meeting, maybe that's when we would go out to lunch together. I don't remember. But anyway, it's been so long. I've been gone from there 14 years. Like, that is crazy. 14 years in January. Has it been longer than that? Has it been 15 years? No. It'll be 14 years in January. Maybe? Yeah, it'll be 14 years in January. What was I gonna say? Oh, we would go to O'Charlie's and I would always get the fried, or I would get the chicken finger salad. And it was this amazing chicken finger salad. And O'Charlie's has the best salads in the world anyway. They're so good. And then it came with chicken fingers that were all like cut up and mixed up in there. So it was like battered chicken fingers cut up and mixed into the salad with honey mustard dressing on it. And they put a lot of dressing on there, and it was so good. And then, you know, with the dinner rolls on top of that, oh my God, I used to love it. I do remember O'Charlie's drinks being rather weak though. Like their I think I got root beer or Dr. Pepper there, and I remember it being kind of weak. The other place that has weak sodas is Cheesecake Factory. I usually only get a water now, unless we go with Melissa and Jason, because I always get a Mr. Pibb at Cheesecake Factory, and it's like watered down when they bring it to the table. It's like they have like a weak tap there or something. I don't know what it is, but they don't have good fountain pops at Cheesecake Factory. So anyway, now that I've talked about food, I'm hungry. I'm very, very hungry. Too much, too little, too late to have fun again. What other restaurants did we used to go to back in the day? You know, my mom and I didn't go out to eat very often. I mean, when I was growing up, we never did. In fact, until I started going over to other people's houses, I used to laugh about this. My mom would be like, do you want to get a pizza? And getting a pizza to my mom meant, my mom was like really, really cheap when it came to money. Like, she was really kind of a penny pincher. And so like to order pizza from my mom when I was growing up was like a huge deal. Like, she never ordered pizza. My dad would a lot, but my mom would never order pizza. You know, she would just, it was so expensive to order pizza. So when my mom would say, do you want to get a pizza? She meant like a Tombstone's frozen pizza, which I think is so funny in retrospect. And not two of them, but one of them, you know, that you're splitting between two people or more if people were coming over, you know. And, and then I would go over to people's houses and, you know, they would like be like, oh, we're gonna order pizza, and they get like 3 pizzas from Pizza Hut or Noble Roman's or something. Oh God, I used to love Noble Roman's pizza. I haven't been to Noble Roman's in a long time. I do remember, my dad always shares this story though about like, he was part of this group when I was like 4 or 5 years old, and it was called Foolish Fathers. He tells this story, it's so funny. And he says that the point of the club was to get fathers to get the kids out of their mother's hair on Saturday mornings. And he said it was at like 8 o'clock on a Saturday morning. He wrote about this in the letter that my dad wrote me for Father's Day several years ago, which I love that letter that he wrote me, but he says that in there, you know, like he may not have been the best father, but he did show up on Saturday mornings for the Foolish Fathers. And he remembers this one, he said, this one Saturday in October that they went on a wet hayride at 8 o'clock in the morning while they were drinking hot cider and eating donuts or something like that. And he was like, because of course you want to be on a hayride in the rain at 8 o'clock on a Saturday morning at a pumpkin patch. And he said, so when it was his turn, he rented out a Noble Roman's. And you could go in there, and I don't know if you guys remember this at Noble Roman's, if you had them, but you could like watch people like throw the pizzas up. And we used to love that. We would go to Noble Roman's, and we would stand there, and we would just like watch everybody for hours until the pizza was ready. That's what all the kids would do. They had like this little stair step thing that you could, I can remember, it was like this huge window. There's like 3 steps up, and then there was like this landing and 3 steps down, and you would stand there and watch people make pizzas. We also, the other big place in Indianapolis had like birthday parties and stuff was Farrell's at the mall. And it was like this ice cream sundae kind of restaurant. And they would go around and bang a drum. And then everybody, like, from your birthday party, while they were like banging the drum for your birthday, like you got to go first and wear a hat, like one of those big like circus hats. And this guy would bang this drum, and then like all the kids would follow this like line of this banging drum like through the Farrell's restaurant. Does anybody remember that besides me? And there was always this candy shop that you had to walk through first to get to the restaurant. And the candy shop always had all of like, it looked literally like the Candyman can, you know, from Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. And so of course all of the kids, I think it's easier if I go up this way. I think all of the kids, turn in the McDonald's, all the kids wanted all this candy, you know, in the candy store. And so, of course, you had to go back out that way, I think, to leave. And everybody would always get those big jawbreaker, you know, bubble gums that you couldn't break. You'd break your teeth off on them. You couldn't break into them at all. Or I always wanted to get the candy dots that came on the paper, you know, that you lick and then you peel. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Long streams of the white paper that had the little dots on them. Oh my God, I loved those. So that was the other place. And then there was, and I liked Farrell's if I had to go there. You know, the only time I went to birthday parties was when it was for like friends of my parents, or like my parents' friends' kids. That was the only time I got invited to birthday parties. The other place that we would go for birthday parties that I hated was, you know, and it was always so uncomfortable because it was like some kid that I didn't know very well, except for that our dads, you know, had surgery together or something and were doctors together. And then, like, you know, my dad would pick up a puzzle or a Lego or something and wrap it